I am the farthest thing from an expert in sailing. But the Apostle Paul spent many days aboard ships in his life. He understood the nautical terms, and he used one of them 3 times in the Bible. The term that he used refers to what happened whenever the captain of a ship sensed that troubled waters lay ahead. It was used to describe what he would do whenever he would order his sailors to lower the sails in order to avoid rough seas. Paul used the term lowering the sail twice in his meeting with the Ephesian elders. He described the teaching that he had done in the 3 years that he was located in Ephesus. He specifically mentioned that he taught the same both publicly and from house to house. Now, those years were not always easy. You may remember that the riot that was drummed up by Demetrius the silversmith. These silversmiths were afraid that the teaching of Paul would hurt their business, for their main item that they crafted from silver were idols to the goddess Diana. Yet Paul stayed the course. In spite of the opposition that was around him, he pressed on. And he stated in Acts 20 and verse 20, "I did not shrink from declaring unto you anything that was profitable to you." The expression here, "I did not shrink," is the same Greek term. When troubled waters lay ahead, Paul did not lower the sails. He did not even consider slowing down or taking another course. He pressed on, and he continued to teach unto them the things that they needed to hear. Paul's second use of the word described the heart of this great apostle and proceeded his admonition to the Ephesian elders to shepherd the Lord's flock and to protect it from false teachers, even if false teachers were a part of the eldership. Paul said, "I did not shrink from declaring to you the whole purpose of God. Be on guard for yourselves and for all of the flock," Acts 20 and verse 27. When false teachers threatened the church, Paul did not shrink back. He did not lower the sails. And imagine the type of impact that it would have on the church today if we all, not just elders, not just preachers, but if all children of God refuse to lower the sails, even though such actions may mean that we face troubled times, that we must face a fight, that we may have to do things that are inconvenient or things that are not pleasant. We do not lower the sails. Then in Galatians chapter 2 and verse 12, Paul uses this term to describe what Peter did because of racial prejudice in the church. On one occasion, Peter associated himself freely with Gentile Christians, but then when Jewish brethren arrived, he withdrew himself, fearing those who were of the circumcision. The words "withdrew himself" are from this same Greek term. He lowered his sails rather than navigating and conquering the troubled waters that were ahead. The church needs leaders today who will never lower the sails rather than doing what is right. Our homes need mothers and fathers who refuse to lower the sails instead of creating needed conflicts with their children. Our homes need husbands who courageously lead their wives and children, even though it means dealing with troubled waters. We as children of God, we face many trying times. We're facing a very perilous time in the world around us today when the enemies of the cross seem to be on every side. But we as children of God must band together. We must remember that Jesus says that he will not leave us nor will he forsake us. And that if we stay strong and we press on, we weather the storms of life, we keep that sail up and full. We do not lower our sails. And we always remember that it's always right to do what is right. Thank you for listening today. Have a good day.